My name is Julia Martin, and 4 months ago I decided to move to Arusha, Tanzania to work in a children's village as a financial manager. I've been running for about 8 years now, and did a lot of distance running and packed up all of my running stuff and headed over to Africa. And I got there and found out that running was a lot different, and there were a lot of cultural things that I had to deal with. I had to run with my knees covered and my shoulders covered. I had to wear a couple of layers of clothing because of the way that the women are expected to dress there. I arrived in the hottest part of the summer and ran for several months just learning to deal with the heat. Running there was amazing. The first time I ran, I passed a monkey, ran out in front of me, and a lot of different animals. There were, dogs, neighborhood dogs that would come out and run with me, and towards the end, the neighborhood children knew my name and they would come run along beside me. It was very difficult, very hot, learning to run in all of the clothes, but in a lot of ways it's more relaxing, and there's always something different as far as the scenery, the fields of what I see there, banana trees and different farms and lots of animals. I ran 10 miles. That's the longest that I could do with the heat and all the clothing. But there was a lodge there that a lot of what we call Mzungus you go to run, the white people and expats, and they had a running track and it was shaded. And so my friends, the people that I worked with, they would go eat and I would go run while they were eating and having happy hour. And so the running track was a luxury because it was actually pretty expensive. You had to be very aware of your surroundings. For the most part, I was safe in the village that I would run in, but once I got outside of my village, I would run through areas where they'd never seen a white person, much less a runner. It's not they get their exercise from working in the fields, so to see somebody out running was really bizarre, and it drew a lot of attention to myself. And you had to be careful about the dogs. Rabies is widespread there, and there were a couple of times that I got chased by a dog. I finally mapped my route to where I could run by the most kids, and they would run with me, and a lot of times it was very motivating because in my mind I would think that I was running a race, and I would try to outrun them, and I tried to work in some speed workout. It inspired me to appreciate what I have here and all of the luxuries that we have, everything from the clothes that we have access to, and the shoes, and the groups, the running groups that we have. A lot of countries don't have the understanding. They don't understand how important it is to exercise, and it's one thing that I tried to incorporate in with some of the children in the village and start them running. I would love to. I do want to go back to Tanzania. There are a lot of wonderful things about that country, and there's the Mount Meru Marathon, and Kili was actually kind of in my backyard. The children's village actually looked out over Kilimanjaro, and when it was on the clear days, you could actually see the top of Kilimanjaro. I'm home for good. I'm working remotely. I'm still involved with the NGO, but I will definitely go back to visit. So I guess the next marathon I'll probably do will be Mercedes. So that's one of my favorites.